Good morning to all.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. What was the last thing we covered in the previous class?
So we did that infinite long wire. We found out the field 2g lambda by r.
We didn't deal with semi-infinite wire.
No.
No, sir. Sir, in that infinite wire also, you told that only 1/4 you had finished,
Yes, sir.
3/4 is remaining.
हाँ, semi-infinite wire करेंगे, semi-circular wire करेंगे, तभी वो problem.
So something about potential energy also you were telling that why we can't use potential energy method.
It is not potential energy method. Definition of potential for an infinite long wire. For an infinite long wire, we calculated only field. We didn't calculate the potential. If you people have observed.
Potential, sir, you told that it will be infinite.
Yeah, I'll come to that. First of all, let's solve for semi-infinite wire. Take this distance to be r. Semi-infinite wire. Now let's come to a D. I will solve half the problem. You will solve half the problem. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Fair deal?
Yes, sir.
Consider an element dy at a distance of y. This will be d. This is theta. d sin theta. This will be d cos. You considered a small element dy at a distance of y. Because of the small element, you are finding out the field d. Because of the small element, you are finding out the field d. You cannot integrate d directly. It's a vector quantity. Unless and until vectors are in the same direction, you cannot integrate. Now here, Ey is integral d sine theta, and this doesn't get cancelled out. Ey does not get cancelled out. In the infinite long wire, this component got cancelled out. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ex will be integral dE cos theta. So you have to find out Ey as well as Ex. And I promised I'll solve half the problem for you people. I'll solve Ex. Turn the page. Last class, what you derived for dE cos theta was G lambda by R. Yes or no?
Yes.
Two
Yes,
G,
sir.
So
Yes,
2G
sir.
would be
2G.
half it here.
Semi-infinite, that's fine.
Because you put minus to plus infinity as 2 times 0 to infinity. Right? You originally had in the last class minus infinity to plus infinity, which you put it as 2 times 0 to infinity. Here you have got only 0 to infinity. So I will not have a 2 in front.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And I have done my half the problem. Your job.
Smart of you, sir.
So sweet of you. Thank you. I like compliments.
So our length of the wire is L and mass per unit length is lambda, right?
Lambda is the mass per unit length. Length is semi-infinite.
Okay, okay.
Lambda is mass per unit length. Integral will go from 0 to infinity. If you people don't solve, I'll be sitting here till 1:30 as it is. Please solve. Integral dE sine theta. And nobody will shout the answer. Please do not announce the answer. If you get the answer, type in the chat box. I am reading the chat box. Somebody is asking, will you help in the integration, please? That type of an integration we have done many times. Have a look at it. Ey is G dm by small r square. This distance of square is y square plus r square. This distance whole square. Sin theta is y, the root over of y square plus r. Lambda dy y upon y square plus r square to the power 3 by 2, 0 to infinity. Y dy upon y square plus r square to the power 3 by 2. There are two ways of doing this integration. One, let tan theta be y by r. Y is equal to r tan theta. Dy is r secant square theta d theta. Limits will go from 0 to pi by 2. This is one way. But whenever I have y dy in the numerator, there is an alternative. Let t square be y square plus r square. 2t dt by dy is 2y. T dt is y dy. Substitute this as t square, y dy as t dt, integrate, bring it in terms of y back, and then substitute the limits 0 to infinity. Either this procedure or this procedure. I will give you 2 more minutes, complete and get the answer. You are supposed to get G lambda by R.
We are not putting a negative sign because we have already considered the direction, right?
Negative sign आएगा भी नहीं.
Sir, why?
कहाँ पे आएगा negative sign? I took d cos theta this way. I know field is in that direction, so I get a positive value. d cos theta इस direction में लेकर integrate करने के बाद, if I get negative, I will have to reverse the direction.
Yes.
Sir, is the answer 2g lambda root y square plus r square?
है वहाँ देखो ऊपर.
अच्छा लिया है, ठीक है, sorry sir.
G lambda by R is the answer.
So if we would have proved the semi-infinite wire first, then we could have added another semi-infinite wire beneath it and proved it for infinite wire.
Not an issue. Can I rub the board?
For 1 minute.
Yes, sir. Noted.
Wait, sir.
semicircular wire. This is also quite an easy integration. Consider an element like this. This will give me d in this direction. Consider a small element. I take lambda to be mass per unit length. We are keeping all expressions in terms of lambda. So I'll take this also in terms of lambda. Now, if this is d, because of a small element, if I keep a unit mass here, it will be attracted in this direction. This will be d cos theta, and this will be d sin. Can I claim all d cos theta components will cancel out?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
For every element here, there is an element here which will give me an identical d, and the vertical components cancel out. I am left with d cos, sin. What is the value of d? G dm by r square. What is the value of dm?
Yeah.
Lambda r d theta is dm. Lambda r d theta. Right? G lambda by r integral sin theta d theta. Least value of theta is 0. Maximum value of theta is pi. Least value of theta is when the element is considered here. When the element is here, maximum value of theta is pi. Integral sin theta. Cos pi minus cos theta. Cos pi is -1. -1 minus 2. 2g lambda by r. Semicircular wire field at O will be 2g lambda by r. Now Iridov summarized all three structures and created a problem. I'll tell you what it is. Take it down.
Sir, erode of what?
Summarized all three structures into one problem. Semi-infinite wire, semicircular wire.
Noted, sir.
Wait, so
First of all, to remind you people of the results. Infinite long wire, the field here is 2G lambda by R. Semi-infinite wire, the field here is G lambda by R, the field in this direction is G lambda by R. Semicircular wire, field is 2G lambda by R. Right? Now, the question asked is, what will be the field at the center of this ring? This is given as R. This is a semi-infinite wire. This is a semi-infinite wire. This is a semicircular wire. All of them have linear mass density lambda, mass per unit length. Find field at O. This is a semi-infinite wire. This is a semi-infinite wire. This is a semicircular wire. Find the field at O.
Is it 0?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Is it 0?
Yes, sir, 0.
Yes.
0.
Because of this semi-infinite wire, the field will be G lambda by R and G lambda by R. Because of this semi-infinite wire, this will be G lambda by R and this will become 2 times. This will be 2G lambda by R. This will be 2G lambda by R. Semicircular wire. So net total field at O will become 0. Can I rub the board?
yes, sir. 1 minute.
Sir, just the right hand side. Wait. Sir, noted.
Suppose I have a point mass small m and an infinite long wire, semi-infinite long wire, where lambda is lambda naught by x. X is the distance from here. The linear density of the semi-infinite wire is not constant. Till now, all semi-infinite wires that you have taken, linear density was constant. Here, linear density is also changing. As x is increasing, linear density is decreasing. X is the distance of the element from small. Right? Is the question clear? Find force on the semi-infinite wire due to small m, or force of attraction between the two. Consider an element dx at a distance of x. G small m dm by x square is the force. Dm is the mass of this, small m is the mass of this. Force between them is gm1 m2 by r square. Dm is lambda dx. Lambda naught by x dx divided by x square. Gm lambda naught integral dx by x cube d to infinity is the force.
So we can do by finding the field also, right?
Naturally, right? I find the
Okay.
field because of this particular point into smaller.
Okay, sir.
Wait, sir, 1 minute. Sir, what did you write beside in the DF, the one beside the fraction? What did you write beside the fraction gm into
Dx.
x?
dx.
Okay, dx. All right.
Lambda into dx, I substituted lambda.
All right. Done, sir.
So by field, how will we do?
Field, because of the infinite long wire, find out the field at small m.
Yes, sir.
That into small m, will you get the force?
Yes, sir.
This is a ring of mass capital M, radius x. There is small m kept at a distance of x. You are asked to find out the force on small m. Force on small m. It will be small m into field. You are asked to find out the force on small m. It will be small m into field. Field will be G capital Mx upon R square plus x square to the power 3/2. This is the field due to the ring. This is the field due to the ring.
Yes, sir.
What if we slightly change this problem and give you this radius is R, this is capital M. Lambda is the mass per unit length of the semi-infinite wire. Lambda is the mass per unit length of the semi-infinite wire. Find force on the semi-infinite wire due to ring. Find the force on the semi-infinite wire due to the ring. I'll wait for you.
So what's the answer?
Answer is G capital M lambda by R.
Yes.
You may rub the upper part of the board.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now listen, if I were to solve this orthodoxly, you will consider an element dx at a distance of x. df, because of the ring G capital Mx upon r square plus x square to the power 3/2 into lambda. Because of the ring, what is the field here? G capital Mx upon r square plus x square to the power 3/2
Yes, sir.
into this element is lambda dx.
Yes, sir.
Now integral df will be G capital M integral x dx upon r square plus x square to the power 3/2. Least value of x is 0, maximum
Sir, you
value
forgot lambda.
Lambda.
GM
Sir,
lambda.
lambda.
Gm lambda. X dx from 0 to infinity. Two ways of solving this. Put x is equal to r tan theta is one way. Other way, take r square plus x square as t square because I have x dx in the numerator. This is one way of solving this. I am sure you people will be able to complete this.
Can you tell what was the final answer?
GM lambda by R.
Now, second way of dealing with this is using the reverse, Newton's third law. Find the force on the ring due to the wire. Force on ring due to wire. Is that easier than this? Anytime. Observe this carefully. This is the semi-infinite wire. Do we know the value of field here? This will be G lambda by R and this will be G lambda by R.
Yes, sir.
This into dm will be the force on it. This into dm and this into dm. This into dm will be the force on it. This into dm will be the force on it. I can comfortably claim that this component all throughout the ring will get cancelled out. It is radially inverse.
Yes, sir.
This component all throughout the ring will cancel out. It is radially inverse. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
This component need to be integrated. Vector hai bhai sahab? Yes. All these vectors are in the same direction. This component all throughout is in the same direction. Integral of this is as good as G lambda by R into capital M.
Yes, sir.
And the answer is G capital M lambda by R. This component of the force gets cancelled out. That component gets added up. Integral dm is capital M. Anytime that procedure will be much easier than the standard procedure. Reason being there is no calculus involved. Integral dm is directly capital M.
So this question can be done using force का direct formula G m1 m2 upon r square.
No.
So what is the reason why it can't be done? Because I took it as
M1 M2 may both are should. The formula G M1 M2 by R square is applicable only for point objects.
okay. Oh, yeah, thank you, sir.
Can I rub the board?
Yes, sir.
Do not leave this integration half the way through. Please complete the integration and verify that you are getting the same answer. Now we make transition into something very, very, very important. This is called a hollow spherical shell. For once, I will do this derivation using the standard calculus method. Same derivation in electrostatics, we will do it using a different mathematical tool called Gauss. Right? Using calculus, the standard one, this is the only place where we will be doing hollow spherical shell. I'm interested in the potential and field at this point P. I'm interested in the potential and field at this point P. Consider an elemental ring. Consider an elemental ring of thickness r d theta. What will be the radius of the ring? Can I claim it is r sin theta?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
An elemental ring which you considered, and this distance you are taking it as z. This whole distance is small r. That is the point at which you are calculating the potential. This distance is capital R cos theta. So this distance is r minus r cos theta. I am procuring information to find out the potential at P. What information were you procuring? The element that you considered is a ring. So ring ka radius is r sin theta, thickness is r d theta. Distance x is r minus r cos theta. For a ring, to find out the potential here, it was minus gm by root over of r square plus x square. X is the distance of that point from the center. From the center of the ring till here, this is x. What is the radius of the ring? Here it is capital R sin. What is the radius of the ring? Capital R sin theta. What is the value of x? Small r minus capital R cos theta. This is what I need. Right? Now my requirement is potential minus g dm by z. Root over of this square plus this square will be z square. Root over of this square r square plus x square will be z square. Yes or no? Other
Yes,
root
sir.
over of r square plus
Yes,
x square.
sir.
Yes, sir.
First substitute the value of dm. Dm is the mass of the ring. Minus g. Mass per unit area into surface area of the ring. 2 pi r sin theta into r d. Mass per unit area into surface area of the ring. What is the surface area of the ring? 2 pi r sin theta into r d theta.
Yes, sir.
2 pi, 4 pi will give me 2 r square will go. Integral dv is gm sin theta d theta upon z, and here I have 2. So simple here. Integration of this is my answer. But the problem is z is also a variable, theta is also a variable. Either bring theta in terms of z or z in terms of theta and integrate. You will either have to find theta in terms of z or z in terms of theta, because both are variables. So now we take the help of Pythagoras theorem. Z square is equal to r square sine square theta plus this distance whole square. R minus r cos theta whole square. R square sine square theta plus r minus capital R cos theta. R square sine square theta plus r square cos square theta 2 small r capital R cos theta. After using Pythagoras theorem, you opened up this bracket. A minus b whole square. A square plus b square minus 2ab. This is r square plus r square cos. Agreed? Now 2z dz by d theta is 0 plus 0 minus differentiation of cos theta is minus sin theta. You differentiated whole of the equation with respect to theta. Z dz is upon r capital R is sin theta d theta. See if you are convinced. Z dz upon small r capital R is sin theta d theta. Fine. Why do you need that? I will be eliminating sin theta d theta here. All that you have done is used Pythagoras theorem, opened up a minus b whole square, capital R sin square theta, capital R cos square theta, you added up to the r square, you differentiated that equation with respect to theta. 2 gets cancelled out, small r capital R will come to the denominator. Now look at your integral. dv minus dn by 2 integral of sin theta d theta upon z minus gm by 2 integral of sin theta d theta is substituted as z dz upon small r capital R. I substituted sin theta d theta from here minus gm by 2 small r capital R. Integral dz will be z. But could you tell me what will be the limits? This is the key catch in whole of the problem, ironically. Least value of z and maximum value of z.
So
Least
small r
value
minus
of
capital R.
The smaller will
Small
be
r
least
minus
value.
capital R and small r plus
Capital R and
Keep
R
moving
root
the
2.
ring. Keep moving the ring slowly till here. Z will come here. What will be the value of Z? Small r minus
capital.
capital R. When I keep moving the ring to the other side, what will be the value of Z?
Small r plus r.
Small r plus R.
Small r minus capital R, small r plus capital R are the limits. Minus gm by, this is r plus r minus r plus capital. 2r will get cancelled out. Minus gm by small r is the expression for potential due to a hollow sphere at an external point. First condition of shell theorem. What is the first condition of shell theorem? Look at the beauty in the interpretation. For a shell is hollow sphere. For an external point of the shell, whole of the mass appears to be concentrated at the center. For an external point of the shell, whole of the mass appears to be, if I would have removed the shell and keep whole of the mass at this particular point, what will be the potential at T minus gm by smaller?
Yes, sir.
So for any external point, whole of the mass of the shell appears to be concentrated at the center. For any external point, whole of the mass of the shell appears to be concentrated at the center. Take down the derivation. There is a second half for this as well. I will derive the second half and then I will dictate the statement of shell theorem.
So it is obvious, right? Because the center of mass of the shell will be at the center. Oh, so the mass.
We are not that smart to think that it is obvious. This
Sorry.
has got nothing to do with the center of mass. रिंग का भी सेंटर ऑफ मास सेंटर पर है तो ले लो.
नहीं सर, ओके,
हाँ,
गॉट इट सर.
Sir.
Just a minute.
Now listen. What if I select a point inside? I want the potential for a point inside the sphere. Listen to me carefully. I want the potential here inside the sphere. All of the derivation will be the same except the limits. Minus gm by 2 small r capital R. If I consider the ring to the right extreme, what will be the z value? Capital R minus small r.
R.
And when I consider the ring to the left extreme, what will be the z value?
Capital R plus small r.
Plus small r. All of the derivation is the same, except for the fact that the limits of z will change. Now, distance of that point from the center is smaller. Even in the previous case, it was smaller. Distance of the ring from here will become capital R minus small r. And the other side ring will be capital R plus small r. Minus gm by 2 small r capital R minus gm by capital R. This is the second part of the shell theorem and rather the most important. Potential everywhere inside the hollow sphere will be the same as that on the surface. Whatever is the potential on the surface, everywhere inside potential will be the same. Potential everywhere inside the hollow sphere will be the same as that on the surface. Potential everywhere inside the hollow sphere will be the same as that on the surface. Now then, can you tell me what will be the field? Potential is constant inside. What will happen to the field? It becomes zero. These two statements of shell theorem, I will dictate. First of all, take this down. I will summarize the results and then I will dictate the shell theorem. Can I proceed?
Sir, just a moment, almost, nearly, just 30 seconds. So
Now let me summarize the result. For a hollow sphere, you said this was a hollow sphere. For any external point, whole of the mass appears to be concentrated at the center. Minus gm by small r. Field will as well be gm by r square. Because if whole of the mass appears to be at the center, I keep mass of the shell here. What will be the field here? Gm by r square. Whole of the mass of the shell, if it appears to be at the center, what will be the field here? Gm by r square. Or the other way of dealing with that is minus dv by dr. Differentiate this with respect to r, you will get this result. On the surface, potential is gm by capital R. Field is gm by r. You are replacing small r with capital R. On the surface is an external point. On the surface is an external point. You are replacing small r with capital R. Inside, potential is minus gm by capital R. You derive this. Whatever is the potential on the surface, everywhere inside potential is the same. If potential is constant, what will be the field inside? Zero. Very, very, very important. If potential is constant everywhere inside, field inside will be zero. Potential is constant means, suppose I take a unit mass from here till here till here till here anywhere. Delta V will be zero because potential is constant. Delta V is zero, work done will be zero. From here till here till here till here, anywhere, delta V will be zero, right? If delta V is zero, work done in moving a unit mass anywhere inside is zero. Bottom line, this and this are the two important results. For any external point, whole of the mass of the shell appears to be concentrated at the center. Second, for any internal point, whatever is the potential on the surface, everywhere inside potential is the same. If potential is constant inside, field will be zero. First to draw this, I'll dictate the 2 points. Note, write down. For any external point, whole of the mass of the shell, whole of the mass of the shell appears to be,
Sir, after external point,
for any external point, whole of the mass of the shell appears to be concentrated at the center of the shell. I repeat this point. For any external point, whole of the mass of the shell appears to be concentrated at center of the shell. For any external point, whole of the mass of the shell appears to be concentrated at the center of the shell. Can I go to the second point?
Yes, sir.
For any internal point, for any internal point of a shell, for any internal point of a shell, for any internal point of a shell, potential is the same as that on the surface. Potential is the same as that on the surface. Potential is the same as that on the surface. Put a comma. Hence, the field inside the shell is zero. 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 Till here, is it clear to all?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Suppose you deal with a solid sphere. Suppose you are dealing with a solid sphere. Don't consider a disk inside a solid sphere. That will become large. Solid sphere. I want the potential and field at a distance of smaller. Consider an elemental shell of radius x, thickness dx. Consider an elemental shell of radius x, thickness dx. What will be the potential here due to this shell? What will be the potential here due to this shell?
So at what point?
GM by x square.
GM by r square.
G dm by small r. Dm is the mass of the shell. For any external point, whole of the shell will appear to be at the center. This distance is smaller. So G dm by r square. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
For any external point, whole of the mass of the shell appears to be at the center. Integration of this is quite easy. Integral dm by r minus gm by r, potential by r square. minus gm by r. For any
Yes.
external point, whole of the
Yes,
mass
sir.
appear to be at the center. G dm by r, integral dm is capital M. All the shells will appear to be at the center only. Each shell, I'll place it here. If I add up all, that's capital M. So what will be the field? Gm by r square is the field. What is the potential on the surface? Minus gm by r. What is the field on the surface? Gm by r square. So for a solid sphere, at any external point, whole of the mass appears to be at the center, because solid sphere constitutes n number of thin shells. Each shell will appear to be here. Adding up all of them, the result is the same. Inside the solid sphere, the results will drastically change.
Sir, is that because there is mass on either side of a point inside the shell?
So radius of the shell is varying, so it will be different.
I didn't get the first guy's statement. Is it because there is mass on either side?
So like inside the solid sphere, if we take a point, then like
Oh
both.
no, that point will stick out. That we will come. That we'll do it in more than one. Wait for. Tell me when I can rub the board.
Sir, just a moment. Just a moment, sir.
So you can rub.
1 minute.
So will you be discussing internal points after this?
For this solid sphere?
Yes, sir.
No, wait. इसका एक application दिखाना है.
Yes, sir. Done.
Now, field and potential inside this is another half an hour of a job that I will keep it pending for next class. We have one more important point to discuss about this. Now I know the potential on the surface of a solid sphere, right? I know the potential on the surface of a solid sphere. How do you get potential energy? Potential into mass. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Suppose you are dealing with Earth. There is a small m kept on the Earth. What will be the force on small m? Small m into E. Do you agree with this?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is the field on the surface of a solid sphere? G capital M by R square. You just now dealt with that. Field on the surface of a solid sphere. Earth you are assuming to be a solid sphere. So the force on the body you will write as M into G. Force on the body you will write as M into G. Only on Earth, acceleration is defined as acceleration due to gravity. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So small g is gm by r square, something which we will use extensively hereafter. Small g is gm by r square. G is universal constant, capital M is mass of Earth, r square. Take it down till here. I'll show you the application of this.
So, sir, can we generalize by saying that?
One second, wait. Bolo.
Sir, my doubt was that can we generalize by saying that the field at any point is actually the acceleration of that body?
No, there is a subtopic in Halliday Resnick which I insisted that you people read, but nahi padhte ho aap log. In Halliday Resnick crane, it's written equivalence between G and capital E. There is a complete page described.
Yes,
on
sir.
it. Right. Please padho. Right. They both are equivalent. Only difference is small g is defined only for Earth. E is defined for any body. It may be a ring, it may be a disk, it may be a hemisphere, ... anything. Small g is defined for Earth.
So we can say that the field is the acceleration produced with the force of attraction.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Now, why did you derive this here? Quite a few times we will be using G capital M of Earth to be small g r. One important application I have to show. Can I rub this?
Yes, sir.
When you taught mechanics, you took potential energy to be mgh. Are we altogether expression for potential energy change? On the surface of Earth, potential energy you told me is potential into small mass. This is what you told me in gravitation.
Yes, sir.
What is the potential on the surface of Earth? Minus gm by r.
Yes, sir.
On the surface of Earth, whole of the mass of Earth appears to be at the center. क्या बोल रहे हो यार, मैकेनिक्स में mgh बोले थे आपने, अभी कुछ और एक्सप्रेशन दिखा रहे हो. At a height of h, u final will be again potential into small m. Potential now is G capital M by small r. What is small r?
R plus H.
Capital R plus H. आज ही किया हमने. For an external point, whole of the mass of the solid sphere also will appear to be at the center. So distance from the center is capital R plus H. Delta U is U final minus U initial. Minus G capital M small m. 1 by R plus H minus 1 by R. Gm can be replaced with Gr square. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
This is called simplification. LCM, right? R and R gets cancelled. Mg R square H with a negative and negative gone. R into R plus H. This is delta. क्या बोल रहे हो यार, मैकेनिक्स में कुछ और बताया, यहाँ कुछ और बता रहे हो. Is it? In mechanics, when you solved, H was much lesser than R. You dealt with 1 meter, 2 meters, 10 meters, 100 meters. Radius of Earth is 6,400 kilometers. H is much smaller than R. If H is much smaller than R, in the denominator, can I neglect H when compared to R?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Denominator is R square, means delta U is how much?
MGH.
This is what we have been telling you in mechanics. That's the reason why you used to take any point at the reference plane. This is 0, this is MGH. Tabletop is 0, this is MGH. Ground is 0, MGH. Ground floor is 0, MGH. Because all that you are taking is potential difference. You take this to be 0, this is MGH. You are taking the potential difference between 2 points. MGH is not absolute potential. Absolute potential was never defined, is never defined, will never be defined. Potential difference is defined. Absolute potential कभी define नहीं होता. Make a note of it.
So noted.
So both these delta U's will be valid for near the Earth's surface, right?
Both these delta U's you are putting me in. So which two delta U's?
The one you marked in box, both the box.
This and this.
Yes, sir.
See, this is universally valid. There is no approximation in this derivation.
But we use, right, G is equal to R square.
That is
GR.
universal. Gm by R square. Small g is Gm by R square. Is universally true. Only thing is G is on the surface of Earth. आप जो भी height पे हो, H may be anything. I have no problem. This G I will take on the surface of Earth. But I'll get delta U at that particular height. I have no approximation in this formula. Here I have an approximation. And here, what is the approximation?
H is smaller than R, much smaller.
Now I know your apprehension. Your apprehension is small g you have taken at the surface of Earth. Can I deal above the surface of Earth? You can. Absolutely no issue. You will understand that further when we dig into it.
Okay, sir.
Now the beauty is we will come down to Earth in the next class.
Sir, can we disperse?
1 second, homework
Or-
दे दो आपको. Homework दे सकता हूं, करोगे?
Yes, sir.
जरूर सर.
बिल्कुल.
HCV, gravitation. HCV, gravitation, exercise. HCV, gravitation, exercise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Six also can be done. 7, 8, 9, 10. First 10 exercise problems of HCV. First 10 exercise problems of HCV.
सर इनका डिस्कशन संडे को ही रखोगे?
नहीं, इन 10 में से day after tomorrow we have a class, right?
No, sir, on Sunday.
Sunday.
संडे को है.
Hey, this
Now,
week
day after tomorrow we have
on Thursday.
normal
Yes,
school
sir,
में
we
होता है।
have.
have one. नहीं
एक
नहीं
और
sir, doubt
लेक्चर है भाई साहब दिस वीक।
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
हाँ
दिस वीक जो भी दूसरा लेक्चर है ये 5 मिनट लगेंगे मुझे इसका डाउट्स लेने में।
ठीक है सर।
Sir, I had a
Objectives
question.
I'll give you in the next class because I have to teach something. A lot more is there in gravitation. Don't be under the impression it's over. Lot more is there.
So the two notes that you gave us today, they are known as shell theorems, right?
Right.
Sir, I just had another small doubt. Sir, on the when we are considering a hollow sphere or solid sphere, so on the surface of the sphere, the field we are calculating is with respect to center of the sphere, right?
With
This-
respect to हमने define ही नहीं किया है field के लिए. Field के लिए potential के लिए I'll always have to tell you with respect to infinity or something. Field, absolute field is defined. Why should it be with respect to center?
Field is force on unit mass, bro. So
Right.
only with respect to.
Okay, okay. Sir.
So see you people in the next class. Good day. Bye. Thank you.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.